Hello, Wemwega. Njĩtagwo Mwarimu Wabui. My name is Teacher Wabui. This is Simple Kikuyu Lessons. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you for those who have subscribed and those who continue to learn with Simple Kikuyu Lessons. In today's episode, we'll be looking at days of the week. Days of the week. There are 7 days of the week, and we'll be looking at them in Kikuyu. Matukũ means days. Matukũ, Kiumia, days of the week. So direct translation, Matukũ is days, ma of the Kiumia week. Kiumia week. Welcome and stay tuned. Depending on what day of the week you start with, some people will start with Saturday, some people will start with Sunday, some people will start with Monday. For the purpose of this lesson, we'll start with Monday. Monday is Jumatatũ, Jumatatũ, or Mwambĩrĩrio, which is Monday. Now, the reason we have two versions of this is because it depends on what part of the area or what part of the country you are speaking your Kikuyu is from. But regardless, either of them will work. Tuesday, Wakere, or some people will say Keri, and you do notice it's just the shorter version of Wakere. Keri, or Jumaine, which is Tuesday. Wagatatu, or gatatu, which tatu means 3. That is Wednesday, wagatatu. Wakana, or kana, or Aramivi, which is borrowed from the Swahili language, which is Alhamisi, which is Thursday. So kana just means 4. Wagatano, or gatano, or Juma. All this means Friday. Juma, or Jumamothi, Saturday. This part, Jumamothi, is borrowed from the Swahili language, which in Swahili, Saturday is Jumamothi. And then finally we have Kiumia, which means Sunday. Regardless of which one you choose, but the first one that I've used in my definition is more commonly used. But regardless of which one you use, they are all okay. Now that we are familiar with the days of the week in Kikuyu, let's look at some practice words that commonly goes with days of the week, like knowing when is today, tomorrow, or yesterday. And you also notice that in Kikuyu we have some other phrases that are not commonly used in English when we are telling what day of the week it is. If we are asking about today, is Omode, which is today. Roshio, tomorrow. Okay, 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 okay. Day after tomorrow. In English, no, this is not very common because people will tend to say exact day of the week. But in Kikuyu, we do have the word okay, which means day after tomorrow. You notice that in English, people will probably, for example, let's assume today is Saturday. People will tend to say the day after tomorrow, which will be Sunday. No, if today is Saturday, the day after tomorrow will be Monday. You will notice people just say Monday. But in Kikuyu, you will say okay, and you don't necessarily have to say the specific day of the week. Ira, 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 which is yesterday. And then we do have another one who very specific. If it's the day before yesterday, again, if today is Saturday, the day before yesterday is Thursday. So if today is Saturday, the day before yesterday, which yesterday was Friday, the day before yesterday was Thursday. I know that sounds confusing. However, if we were very specific, I'll just say iyo, 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 which means day before yesterday. It's important to notice these two, okay, and iyo, when you get more familiar or more fluent in Kikuyu, to use them instead of saying the specific day of the week. Thank you so much for watching Simple Kikuyu Lessons. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, like, comment, and share. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.